First up on today's show, Colby Beck tells us about his experience spending a week away from social media.
Then Zach Clayton brings us the latest and greatest in the science world in the newest edition of Atom Update.
Finally, we have an informative piece on online identity and Finstas.
All that and more coming up next on Flyer News Remote. Good morning, Flyers, and welcome back to Flyer News Remote. Today is Friday, June 12th, our 93rd day out of school. I'm Kate McCluskey.
And I'm Katie Knox. Given how long we've been out of school, many of us have spent inflated periods of time on social media.
Our very own Colby Beck was aware of just how long he was spending on social media and decided to take on the 1-week challenge where he deletes all social media.
With more on the 1-week social media challenge, as well as his own experiences distancing himself from the online world, here's Colby Beck with the story.
Good morning, Flyers. Today is a different video. For the last week, I deleted social media, all of it, from my phone. Let's see what happened. I started the challenge last Wednesday. The rules were I deleted all social media off my phone. That included YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok. One of the main reasons I wanted to do this challenge was to destroy the attachment between me and my phone. It feels like when I go anywhere or have any second of downtime, I'm instantly clicking through something, whether it's Snapchat, Instagram, or TikTok. I'm always doing something and there's never a time I'm away from my phone. It's always on me. One of the other big reasons was I wanted to get my screen time down. My average screen time before this challenge was 7 hours and 2 minutes. And after this challenge, my screen time went down to a whopping 4 hours and 21 minutes. That's almost cutting my screen time in half. The basic statistic for all teenagers in the US is they use an astounding 9 hours a day with a digital cell phone. That's crazy. Now, I understand for some people their phone is their computer, so they do all their schoolwork and they do all their other things on their phone. But there are things like when you have a minute or you're distracted, you pick up your phone and instantly start clicking through stuff, and that adds up. For me, one of the biggest benefits was with less time on technology and social media, I had more time to do other things. For example, most of the days I went out on bike rides with my friends, and we hung out and we got ice cream and we had a lot of fun. Bike rides are way more fun than you think when you don't have social media to go to. Social media is really easy, it doesn't take any brain power, and you can just click and be entertained for hours. However, without it, I found some things like reading my book for school entertaining, and I found myself reading it more than I would with social media. One of the biggest benefits I found was I went to bed earlier, and I woke up less tired. Because on a normal day, I could just pick up TikTok and scroll through it and be like, okay, time to go to sleep, but then scroll through it for another half hour, and those half hours add up. Where when I didn't have TikTok, if I finished my Netflix show, I'd put on my meditation and I'd go to sleep. The best thing was by Tuesday, the day before my challenge ended, I didn't feel any need to re-download any of the social media. Interestingly, I didn't care for Instagram. It's been 2 days now and I still haven't downloaded it, and I don't really want to. TikTok now seems like a waste of time. I re-downloaded it, but I haven't signed in or used it. In the end, I 100% recommend this challenge. Everybody should do it, and you totally won't regret it.
The group Framingham Families for Racial Equality in Education released a petition this past Tuesday to remove the resource officers from Framingham Public Schools. They request that the money used to pay the salaries of the resource officers be put back into the school system. This occurred right after some jarring statistics surfaced on social media which showed that non-white students were more likely to face harsher disciplinary actions. They also claim that having officers in school can worsen the quote, school-to-prison pipeline. While only 45% of Framingham students are minorities, they made up 238 out of the 399 students who received serious disciplinary action this year. Additionally, in the 18-19 school year, only minority students received school-based arrests. No white students were arrested that year, according to the state data. The Black Lives Matter protests have encouraged local and state governments nationwide to defund their police departments. Minneapolis has already begun this process, and parents in Worcester are also pushing to stop funding school resource officers. Flyer News will keep you updated as the story continues.
Colleges and universities are beginning to decide on the format for the fall semester. Schools are evaluating the impact of the coronavirus and how to effectively educate students. Schools want to limit access to campus and facilities but still provide a college experience. Mass Bay Community College has announced that all classes will be held online or remotely. All classes that would normally meet in person will be held remotely, where professors and students will meet online instead of a classroom. Boston University has stated that they will have a combination of in-person and remote learning. Campus will look different with mass physical distancing and testing. They are redesigning dorms, classrooms, and labs. At UConn, they have announced that students will return to school 2 weeks early for testing and quarantine. Everyone will wear masks and all dining will be takeout. Students will not return to school after Thanksgiving for the month of December but will continue their classes and take exams online. Flyer News will update you about any changes to the format of school at FHS.
The world of science is always growing and expanding, with new discoveries emerging constantly.
You're sure right, Katie, and with us being out of school for so long, it's definitely fun to learn about some of the new scientific discoveries.
This week, Zach Clayton brings us the scoop in the science world, talking about a lizard rediscovered after over 100 years and a fifth element called Bose-Einstein that recently condensated on the International Space Station.
Take it away, Zach.
Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Atom Update, where you can find your weekly science news. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, Zachary Clayton, and today we'll be taking a look at rediscovered lizards and Bose-Einstein condensates on the International Space Station. Biologists rediscovered a species of lizard thought to be extinct for over 100 years. Modigliani's nose-horned lizards were originally discovered 130 years ago by Elio Modigliani, which he said to have found in the forests of Indonesia. The lizard species was found again in 2018 by Chairnis Ada Putra, who was conducting a bird survey in the mountainous region of Indonesia. He found a dead specimen by a lake and later found many more living species of the nose-horned lizard. Recently, an experiment concerning Bose-Einstein condensate was conducted on the International Space Station. Bose-Einstein condensate is a state of matter, like solids or liquids. It occurs when atoms reach a temperature very, very close to absolute zero. At this point, atoms are barely moving at all, so they clump together and start acting like one single atom. Some of this substance was made recently on the International Space Station. The weightlessness of space makes experimentation with this state of matter easier. The lack of gravity allows for lower temperatures and longer period of time in this state than on Earth, which makes the ISS hold ideal conditions for BC. Bose-Einstein condensate is a very fascinating state of matter, and I recommend you learn about it more on your own time. Thank you all for watching this edition of Atom Update. Even the smallest matter can affect the world. Be sure to look forward to the next edition coming up next year. I hope you all have a great summer. I'm your host, Zachary Clayton. Let's take it back to Katie and Kate.
The majority of high school students have at least one form of social media. Many students prefer Instagram.
On Instagram, you're able to create as many accounts as you want. Some create two so they can have one for the public and one for close friends.
This allows students to control how the public sees them while still allowing them to express their true personality with their close friends on their private Instagram accounts.
Julie from Flyers After School has the story about how people utilize different accounts to display different sides of their personalities on social media.
Hi guys, my name is Julie and I'm from Framingham Fleur Flyers, and today we're going to be talking about online identity. Having a social media account can sometimes be overwhelming, trying to get likes and shares and whatever to make yourself look more likable. And for some people, it's more troubling than others. And sometimes it's not always accurate, so some people prefer to make a Finsta. What a Finsta is another Instagram account other than your main where you can share what you like and post whatever you'd like. That tailors more to you. So even though you see there's another Instagram account that looks more presentable, you'll always know that you'll have another one where you can really truly be yourself. And for other people who don't really care, you can post whatever you'd like on your main as long as you're being true to yourself and not putting up a front. That's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys back next week.
That's unfortunately all we've got for this episode of Flyer News Remote, but please like this video and subscribe and check out prior episodes on our channel.
And make sure you check out our Instagram at flyer_news for some behind the scenes photos and videos. For Flyer News, I'm Kate McCluskey.
And I'm Katie Knox. Have a fantastic Friday, Framingham.